Yesterday I posted a video called What is a Lightworker? And today I decided to do one on what is a starseed, because starseed is another phrase that's actually more commonly heard of than lightworker. There's a lot, especially with the younger generation, saying that they are starseeds. So it's definitely a term I thought is probably worth discussing. What is a starseed? So the common sort of trend at the moment among the people that say that they're a starseed is the belief of what a starseed is that a starseed is someone who has a soul that is incarnated on planet Earth to help humanity evolve, and they've come from another universe, so they've never been to planet Earth before, and they're coming here now to help humanity evolve. So I've got a few questions around this particular word. Because when I first heard it, I thought, oh, am I a starseed? But then I started to do what I always do, which is analyze, and I started to think about, well, so the definition of a starseed is a soul that has reincarnated on Earth to help humanity evolve. Essentially, that could be everybody then, because whatever part you play in the evolution process, you are helping humanity evolve. Whether you're the teacher telling people words of wisdom and, this is the way, follow it, or whether you're there to provide the challenges. So you might be what might be considered to be a less evolved soul to provide challenges for other people. But yet you are actually still helping humanity evolve. That's your part in it. In fact, the Dolores Cannon, who I absolutely love, in her books, she wrote about the backdrop people, which is a really interesting concept. So she talks about the backdrop people being the people who are here. They're not enlightened as such. They're still quite at the beginning of their evolutionary process from a spiritual growth point of view. And they are here to provide the backdrop for other people who came here to evolve spiritually, for them to have something to evolve from. Because unless you have a platform or a challenge or something to catapult you forward, how can you move forward? You need to have the challenge to help you grow. So even if you're a backdrop person, you could still essentially be a starseed, because you still might have come from a different universe to help in that way. And also, on the topic of coming from a different universe and reincarnating in Earth for the first time, well, if we think about what a soul is, a soul, the best way, the best analogy way that I would explain this is every individual soul, like you, me, and every other person, has a soul within their body. But that soul belongs to what's called a monad, which is a group of souls together. And the monads are part of what's called an oversoul, which is the group of monads together. And the oversoul is part of what comes from what's called a logos. And this was explained in the teachings of the Law of One in the Book of Ra, how the universe was created. So the universe was created through what's called a logos, which was like the first explosion of sentient beings. But it was such a large, like a huge soul. So you could think of it like an ocean, right? So the oversoul is like one of the big Pacific Ocean. And then from the Pacific Ocean, that feeds into the big rivers, right, that take the water from the ocean. That would be like the monad. And then from the rivers, the rivers go into like the little small streams, right? So they start off as one, the big ocean, then that goes then they separate into smaller rivers, and then the rivers separate into small streams, which is what our individual soul would be, because we would all be separate by that point, just like all the little lakes and little nuggets and streams of water are all separated. They're all off doing their own thing, way away from the Pacific Ocean. So that's how I think of a soul. So if we look at a soul from that point of view, actually all souls come from the same place, essentially, don't they? Really. So to say that your soul has never been here before, well, all our souls is the same soul. Yes, we're having an individual experience, but when your soul gets recycled back into the oneness, how can you then separate that and say, that your soul's never been here before, because your soul actually collectively is part of everyone else's soul as well. So that's my take on starseed, on being a starseed. And I think, and I'm not discounting anyone's, I think people have got good intentions, and I actually do believe in different star systems, so the Pleiadians, for example, Arcturians, there's lots of different star systems that I do believe in. And I do think that maybe the reason why people think that they've never been here before, that they're a starseed, is because it's been such a long time ago, or maybe they've just not thought about it in this way, how I'm explaining it. So they're just maybe tapping into their last few incarnations as that little river, the little river part of them, that may have been doing something in particular with this reincarnation cycle, over the past, well, let's not even get into the concept of time, but really. And just one final note on the term starseed, the way it's being used is actually, I feel like there's a bit of a sense of separation, sort of like a us and them sort of scenario, where we're here to help you because you can't do it for yourself. Which I think, if a starseed is a more highly evolved being that is here to lead because they've come from a more highly evolved universe, if you think of what evolution is from a spiritual point of view and a point of view of wisdom, well, let's take Jesus, for example. He came to teach. He came to guide and show the way. But did he ever once say that he was a master healer, master teacher, prophet? I mean, I've studied the Bible quite a lot, and someone correct me if I'm wrong here. There's a lot to get through in the Bible. So I could have missed this. But from what I've studied, I can't recall one Bible verse where Jesus separates himself from others in such a verbal way, like categorizes himself, gives himself a name to say that I'm here to help you, I'm this and you're that. I didn't see Jesus do that. Actually, what I understand of Jesus is the opposite, the humility, the sort of sense of, actually, I'm going to lower myself and put you up there, raise everybody up. So that for me is how I would expect a more evolved soul to behave if they were to really be able to help humanity evolve. That's the kind of characteristic I would be looking at. And that doesn't really fit with what I see sometimes with the way people are talking about themselves being a starseed, in that sense of sort of like, I'm here to help others. And again, I probably might upset some people with this video. So it's completely not my intention to upset anyone. I do think everybody is here to help in their own special way. And anyone who thinks that they're a starseed and really believes that, I honestly think that you are here to do something amazing. I'm not criticizing anyone who has, believes that they are a starseed. I guess I'm just looking at it from a different point of view, because I've questioned that about myself. I've questioned, am I a starseed? Because as soon as I heard that phrase, my first thought was, yeah, that's me. Always being a bit different, always being very spiritual, always just thinking about things that no one around me ever seems to think about. different galaxies, you know, all the hidden things that look, you know, what can't we see? I'm always thinking about the things we can't see, not just the material things in our daily lives. So the first thing I thought was, am I a starseed? Which is what led me to this inquiry about, well, what is a starseed? So, but anyway, that's my take on it. And I do truly believe that everyone who claims to be a starseed or is a starseed is here to do something amazing. I've got no doubt about that. So please, if you do believe you're a starseed and you have said that, please don't take this as a criticism. It's just an alternative way of looking at it. That's all. But anyway, let me know what you think. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts.